Hello, hello. Ooh, jump scare. Hope everybody is doing good on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Happy Friday. Me, me and blessings. I'm filling in for. Oh, thank you, Ayana. I'm filling in for. Hey, Miss Elldwnia, how you doing?
I am doing wonderful, darling. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Do you have your background? Because I'm gonna change my background too.
Uh-oh.
Um,
Hmm.
there.
I don't know how you did that.
Okay, so
I'm not
so
techie.
cool.
Well, I
Okay,
am techie, but
that's fine. So what you're gonna do, you see that
okay.
camera
Yes.
icon? You're gonna
Yes.
click on that.
Okay.
Now you see that banner across where it has green screen or background and all that. It's like a little banner on top. You're gonna scroll over to find your green screen.
Okay.
You're gonna tap on that, and then you're gonna pick that square that has the arrow pointing down. But you're gonna have three. You got other options. Hey, blessings.
Let's see.
Hello.
How I beat you? You the my.
I didn't get an invite. I did not even see an
Oh,
invite come
I'm
through.
sorry.
I was like, are they on? I didn't get one.
Yeah. So do you see it?
I
Elldwnia?
it says what am I looking for again?
So you're looking for you see what says effects, right? When you click on that camera,
Okay. Camera.
all right, it's
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
you
Okay,
see it?
yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, and we're gonna do green screen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, got the green screen.
And what does it tell you? Because it will either have that plus sign
Yes,
or
there's a plus sign.
okay, so that's going to take you to your photos, and you click on your background that OVC sent you. My blessings, I'm telling her right? Because my stuff show
Yeah.
up different.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Blessings, you should be up here where I am. This feels weird. You did this on purpose.
No, 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 no. It's fine. Well, while she's getting that together, everybody welcome in. Let's tap the screen. We're at 400, so let's go ahead and hurry up and get to like 5,000. I think we can do it.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
Let's
they got
share, let's
questions for me.
repost.
They getting ready to take me home. Okay, our vote counts. There it is. There it is. Hey, ladies! Woo! How y'all doing today?
Good.
Good, how are you?
Welcome to the beautiful Maryland.
Maryland. Yes.
So I am ready. Ask me whatever you want to ask me. I'm a talker, so you got to stop me, baby.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
We love it. We love it.
We love a talker.
Okay.
We love that. Yes, we love it.
Yes, tell us all your plans.
So my name is Elldwnia English, and I'm running for Maryland for the beautiful Maryland, the 5th District of Maryland. So right now, I am trying to unseat someone that has been on here for 40 years.
Wow.
4 decades.
4 years, yeah.
4 decades.
Yes.
So I'm trying to unseat him. Well, all of us are. It's a bunch of Democrats running. So I am in the southern part of Southern Maryland. And I am an economist nerd. So I am so excited. I have a lot of plans for Maryland. One of the biggest things that I'm doing right now is I'm doing economic forum for kids. And I started a business that teaches children how to work. It teaches them how to integrate diversity because we're the melting pot. We are the melting pot here. And, you know, we don't want kids to see each other as race and gender. We want them to see each other as fellow people, you know, and we want them to understand that everyone coming here makes this place a greater place. So one thing about it is no one teaches people why they have to work. No one teaches people how to pay bills. They just tell them go to work and somehow figure out how to pay these bills that come every 2 weeks. It's supposed to be monthly, but every 2 weeks, right? So what I'm teaching kids is, and this is all part of my, what I'm running on. I'm running as a mom. I'm not running as anything other than a mom. And, I want to teach kids the reason that they work, how to pay bills, how to pay taxes. And one thing about me, I'm a Democrat, but I'm a socialist Democrat. The amount of taxes that we pay here, we should have free health care. We should have free education. One of my biggest platforms that I'm running on is I want at least free health care and free education from pre-K to you getting your doctorate. If you're in school, you should have free health care and free education. Because unless you got to worry about I feel like it makes a better citizen. And for 40 years, the person that has been in office has never been audited. The people that have worked for him have never been audited. Wow. So nobody knows where all the money's going. No one has ever asked the question, where is the money? Because it's not here. Our infrastructure is falling down. You hear me? It is falling down. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? We need to go ahead and audit that and find out where that $10 trillion have gone. Because it didn't go in our pockets. And we have one of the richest Black populations in America. You heard of PG County, Prince George, the richest Black population. That's us. We here. And we pay taxes to everybody. And we actually love it. We love helping everybody out. But, you know, we also have paid so much taxes that we shouldn't be paying for healthcare and education no more. That should be free for us. We also have a huge military population here. And a lot of retirees, a lot of veterans, and we don't have a lot of veteran centers here. We don't have a lot of centers for people who have retired. And as much as I love Maryland, this is one of the most boring places on earth. And I want to change that. I want to turn this into
I
love it. And I'll fight you on it.
No, don't say it's boring.
I'm going to tell you right now, I want to turn this into a little Las Vegas. I want people to love coming to Maryland. I want them to stay. I want them to come and spend their money here. I want them to retire here. I want them to be like, look, I don't know where you're going. I'm going. Y'all want to retire in Florida or Vegas? I'm retiring in Maryland. And I want them to stay. You know what I'm saying?
We love it. I don't want to interrupt you because you're going to answer all our questions before we get to them.
She came out hot. Oh, she fired up.
All right, I'm fired up. I'll slow down.
Okay. All right. Now she already has us getting started, but I want to welcome everybody to OVC, Our Vote Counts live TikTok town hall. Tonight, I'm your moderator, Blessings, with my other moderator, Sianka. And we are here with Elldwnia?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Elldwnia English. And she's in Maryland running for the U.S. House of Representatives in District 5. Yay. So I'm going to tell you who Our Vote Counts is, and then we're going to hop right into it. So Our Vote Counts is a nonpartisan coalition of citizens from diverse states and backgrounds united by a shared commitment to empowering voters and promoting candidates who stand for integrity, inclusion, and accountability in the upcoming election. Formed by a collection of educators, veterans, small business owners, students, and community activists, Our Vote Counts represents the strength of unity across geography, race, and ideology. While our stories are different, our mission is the same: to ensure that every voice is heard and every vote truly counts. Through voter education, candidate outreach, and community engagement, we support leaders who are ready to serve the people, not special interests. By working across state lines and elevating local and national issues, we aim to increase voter turnout, inform public dialogue, and build momentum for lasting change. Our Vote Counts is more than a name. It's a promise. It's a movement and a rallying cry for democracy. Together, we are shaping the future, one informed vote at a time. So that's who we are. Our Vote Counts. So tonight, like I said, we are here with Elldwnia, and we're going to talk about her background, her vision for the district, and of course, taking your questions live. So first we already meeting you for the first time. You kind of already told us who you are and why you're running and all the things. So I'm going to do a quick little icebreaker question, and then we're going to do topics, and it's going to bounce between me and Sianka. And then we'll also have some rapid fire fun questions in the middle for you. Are you ready?
Sounds great. I'm ready.
Okay. So the icebreaker question is, if you could have a theme song for your campaign, what would it be?
Do you know Stevie Wonder's song As?
Yes.
That would be my theme song.
Okay.
I'll be loving you always.
That would be my theme song.
Yes. Yes, I love that song.
Love it. All right, so we're going to hop right into it with Sianka and economic development and jobs.
And I just want to tell you real quick, a lot of questions. I don't know everything, baby. I don't know everything, but I do have my little computer in front of me. So you'll hear me tapping because I want to give you accurate information.
And that's what we love. We love that. And we try to tell the candidates and people, if you don't know, you don't know.
Right.
And if you say, you know what, I don't know, I get right back with you. Like you have your computer. We love that. We love that. Then, people who sugarcoat stuff that they don't even know. So yes, Nadia, that's being real.
Yes. And I am from DC. So I'm born and raised. Yes. We have some Maryland and DC people in the chat as well. So yes.
So we're gonna do this. Blessings. People that's representing Maryland, DC, y'all put your emojis in the chat. Let Elldwnia know that you are here. You are representing.
Come on, sisters and brothers.
Let's go.
Let's
Put it
go.
in the chat because she is fired up. We love it. We love it. So, Miss Elldwnia, we're gonna go through economic development, like Miss Blessing said.
Okay.
A lot of small businesses in your district rent utilities, and access to loans are what's holding them back the most. What would you actually push for to help local entrepreneurs grow and hire more people there?
Oh, that is a wonderful question. And it's something I'm actually going through. So getting loans here is a beast. It is absolutely a beast. And I'm going to tell you why, because the upper 2% do not want to give people here loans. If you're not working in DC or the Pentagon and you have access to that type of money or that type of network, they really don't want to help you out. Here, we need to lower what people need to do to get loans, or we need to teach people what to do to get loans. Like if they need to work to bring up their credit score, right? And I always start with education, right? If they need certification, education, we don't need to just deny people. Because there is never a business that I've ever owned. If somebody walked in and was like, hey, I would like to work, I'm putting you to work somewhere. I don't care if you're sweeping floors, baby, you'll learn on a job. But one of the biggest things here is people are just denied and not told how to get their resources. So I don't have a name for it, but I do want to implement something that initiates more people being entrepreneurs, because the economy needs entrepreneurs. The economy needs people to take out loans. That's how we stay afloat. The more loans out, the more people paying on loans keeps this state afloat. So one of the biggest issues is because we are such a diverse group of people and one of the largest female populations, for some reason, they deny us. I'm not going to get into another issue, but I'm going to stay on topic. So I'm just going to say we need to teach people how to get loans. We need to say, look, you need to be on a job for 6 months if you want to get, let's say, a $2,000 loan, right? A $2,000 bank loan, and the APR has to be reasonable. 23% is outrageous. And we need to make sure that they can take out a loan and then pay it back and then take out another loan. We want to keep people getting loans, right? We want to initiate grants for people starting businesses. We want to initiate a lot of different things so people can get their loans, get their certifications, and keep getting loans out. That's one of the biggest issues that we need to really dig into here, especially.
Thank you for answering that question, and that is so true. We want a fair share like everybody else,
Absolutely.
and that's how we're gonna thrive. If there's a level playing field there, it's not so demographic concern and things of that nature. Because when I was looking at your census, y'all are a melting pot. I'm really shocked that y'all like in a melting pot. Like you have everybody. Yeah, everybody there. Yeah, because when I think of Maryland, I think of some places more of a not higher, but more of a dominant demographic than Black people live in this area, like in DC, and then everything else is everything else. But I see it's not true. See, this is what happens when you don't research.
Hey, you live and learn. Not everybody know everything about everything.
Right. But it's great to know. So thank you for answering that question. You also answered my second question. So my third question is, you all got talented people in Maryland, like this young lady down here. And like Buttermilk, Miss Nikki, I'm calling y'all out. But too many residents still have to commute, far away, for good paying jobs. It's like,
can I tell you why?
What's that? Why?
Racism.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I'm not afraid to say it, baby. Racism.
Okay. That was a knocking. I got a right hook there. So what would you do to bring more quality jobs into your district instead of watching such talented people like Blessings and people in the comments and people who was watching that talent leave that for that every morning when they go to work, they want to work in that area, not travel out, because you're actually like giving more money to that area than bringing it home, except for your paycheck, of course. But what about your district?
So our district has a lot of so we have I live in a tech district, right, in Southern Maryland. We have a lot of talented people. I live in a I want to say $100 million area, right? But for the local people, this is people coming from outside. They're getting people from California. They're getting people from all over. So local people, I want to say it's 50-50. But for people, let's say people going to the Pentagon and going to DC, we have been fighting for a train here for, I want to say 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And they won't do it because the area that I live in is mostly minority. It's mostly women. So unless we literally go and kick in the door, burn it down and take it, no one is going to give us anything. And to have a district that is ran by people who I'm trying to be nice with my words.
Be real, Miss Elldwnia. Just
girl, you don't want me to be real. I ain't gonna get elected. I ain't gonna get elected.
Yes, you are. We're gonna speak that in existence.
If we could get the people who were here before us to understand that times have changed and they need to go ahead and retire, right? We want you to sit down before we have to lay you down, is what we're saying, and I'm not trying to clock them. I'm just saying, like, they want things to stay a certain way.
Right.
And we want to move forward, but progress cannot happen if the people at the helm, you hear me? Yes. The people at the helm are stopping it. So we need younger people. And I'm not saying I'm the youngest chicken in the roost, but look, I'm Jackie, little sister. We need people that are like, look, these people have been in these positions for 40 to 80 years, and we need them to leave. We need them to be voted out. We need young everybody in it, because if we had a younger demographic, instead of having the same old lame-o stand in a position we would be in a much better place. We would have more things. We would have a better quality of life, but we cannot get anything to pass here. We cannot get anything to move. Nothing can shake here because the people at the top that can move stuff want it to stay the same way it was pre Civil War, basically.
Absolutely. Thank you for answering that question. So you're real. Man, if I was in Maryland right now, I would vote for you. I would.
Thank you.
But I'm in North Carolina, so I'll be your next door neighbor. But you know,
Look,
I'm not
I take
Maryland.
prayers, I take thoughts, I take everything.
Thank you so much. So if you have any questions for Miss Elldwnia, look, she did not claw our face off. She didn't like bite us or anything like that. We're still here. We're having a great conversation right now. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. If you're shy, but you know, if you want to come up and talk to her with your beautiful voice, go ahead. Come on up. She does not bite. I promise you.
I don't.
But I have a personal question.
Sure.
Your opinion. Why are people so afraid to allow people like us to have a chance, or young people, period, to have a chance to make a good difference in their community? Why are people so scared of that?
Because people like their masters to be old white men.
There you go. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. All right, blessings. I'm gonna give it to you if I get this live in trouble. I'm gonna give it to you. Blessings. Take it away.
Thank you, Sianka. Okay. Oh, looks like we have a question. I was about to move on. Let's see. Hello, welcome to the panel, Miss Nikki.
Hi, I have a question. Can you hear me better?
Yes, I can hear you.
Sorry, I'm Ubering. I'm sorry. But coming from DC into Charles County. But Edwina, I'm in your district. I actually live in Charles County.
Hey, baby.
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. My question to you is, I know with Steny Hoyer retiring, and he was one of the biggest reasons that we still have Pax River and Indian Head in our district. My question to you is, what will you do to ensure those bases stay in our district?
What can you repeat the question? I can't hear you.
Okay, Indian Head base in Indian Head, Maryland, and Pax River that's in I guess that's considered California, Maryland.
Yeah.
Those two bases that are, major for employment of our citizens in our community. So my question is, what are your plans to make sure those bases stay in our area?
Oh, they're not leaving. They're not leaving. That is a majority of our citizenship. This is I don't even know why that was ever a conversation. They are staying right here. We need them to stay in District 5. We need the people. We need the economy. We need them to know that they are safe and nothing is going to change. So my stance is that there shouldn't be a conversation about this because as far as I'm concerned, they're staying right where they are.
I understand you saying that, but I'm not sure how long. I don't know if you're lifelong, Charles.
I'm in St. Mary's.
Okay, so I used to work on Indian Head, and I know it was several times that we were in, our bases were in jeopardy of leaving.
Yeah. So I think that one of the things that I could do is make a bill. Actually, before I even say anything, let me just put it in and make sure I'm saying the right thing. Okay. So I'm listening, but I'm just going to be typing. Okay. Because I don't know everything. I'm a civilian. I do have a app that tells me how to write bills, though.
She is typing. I want everybody to tap the screen, share the live, so more people can be informed about what we're doing tonight. That would be great.
And see, blessings. This is why I would vote for her, because she's doing this is actually evidence right now. You know, just
Appreciate you doing the research.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just saying, if you are elected, this is something major for our area.
Okay.
So that's all I had to say. You guys can drop me now. Thank you.
thank you, Miss Nikki.
Thank you for coming up.
Okay.
Okay, while she looks it up, if anybody has any more questions, feel free to request up or put in the chat. We do have many more topics that we'll go over, and maybe that will spark a question in you for Miss Edwina.
Okay, so it's saying legally I can't lock a base down. I mean, I can't. But I can use Congress power of funding, authorization, oversight, and land use coordinations to make Indian Head protected and indispensable. So I can write a bill to make sure that Indian Head, like I can make sure that Indian Head cannot be touched for like 50 or 75 years. But I mean, that is all it with funding. So I just make it a funding base where I keep it. But I see what you're saying. It is a strategic national asset. So we have to make it essential and well supported. So we got to put more people on that base. And one thing I would do is I would make bills, I would make businesses, I would have more contracts going there. I would implement some type of levying system to make sure Indian Head strategically stays in existence.
Okay, well, thank you for that answer. We're going to go into our next topic, which is healthcare. So Maryland's uninsured rate is still around 6%, and a lot of people are saying that they are avoiding doctors because of the cost. What would you push in Congress to make healthcare and prescriptions more affordable for families in your district?
I'm just making sure that it's up to date. I don't want to give the wrong advice. My answer is always going to be free healthcare. My answer for the disabled, my answer for lower income, because I don't feel like Medicare, Medicaid can take care of everyone. I don't feel like the current healthcare system that we currently have is absolutely is the most ineffective healthcare system ever. It is slanted, it is wrong, it's prejudicial. The lines are ridiculous. You go to an ER, you're there for 8 to 12 hours, right? We have people dying in the ER. We have people dying going up to the ER. We are finding people over the winter time close to hospitals. We have hospitals kicking people out. Not that I've heard today. But in the past we've had to have people who have been kicked out and unfortunately have lost their life. And so one of the best things that we can do is free healthcare. We pay so much taxes. We have paid so much taxes. If no other state can afford free healthcare, we can afford free healthcare here for all of our citizens for the next 50 years. There is no country that has ever given free healthcare that has ever gone back. No country. And for us to be a first world country and not have free healthcare and free education is absolutely abysmal. I can tell you the doctors would still make their bed. A lot of people are like, well, how are the doctors getting paid? How much money have we given Venezuela? How much money are we talking about giving Greenland? $100,000 to each citizen to buy them. We have less people in Maryland than they have in Greenland. We're talking about giving them trillions of dollars. So yeah, free healthcare.
Free healthcare.
You right with us. With the amount of money y'all pay.
Absolutely. All right. Next question. You talked about healthcare access and pandemic preparedness. What would you do to make sure your district has enough clinics, doctors, and mental health services so people aren't waiting months for basic care?
So after I sue Steny Hoyer and get our money back, we are going to have one of the first things that I want to implement is every district have a mental health facility, a large 100-bed mental health facility. And yes, we can afford it. Yes, we have the grants, we have the medical, we have the teams. Every city needs a mental health facility that can house 100 people. We need more ERs. We need ERs and medical deserts. We don't need tent cities all over the place. One of the biggest things here is no one knows where our money is going. No one knows where our money has gone. So once I get our money back, which is going to be an audit, we are going to have mental health facilities all over the place. Another thing is we need to start pushing more schools to have internships for hospitals. We need to make sure that kids are learning how to do this, not in high school, but we need to start in middle school, getting kids taught on how to not just take care of other people, but to take care of their own homes, take care of your neighbors. I always believe every child after the 8th grade need to know how to do CPR. They need to know how to bandage up. We unfortunately have GSWs here. I ain't gonna say the whole thing. We have GSWs here. Kids need to learn. They see it. They need to learn how to take care of it and not be in fear of it. We have a lot of kidney issues, a lot of diabetics here, right? Kids need to learn how to eat healthy. We need to implement more farm to table. I always look to, I don't know if you guys have ever seen how China, literally from the kindergarten, they teach their kids how to grow their food, how to cook their own food, and how to put and how to live healthy by implementing exercise. I'm not saying doing dodgeball and stuff that almost killed us as we were kids, right? I'm saying like learning how to do regular exercise like Pilates, yoga, stretching, but actually do cardio and stuff. The only way that we're going to change is I don't want to just say the kids, but all of us need to be implemented on how to take care of each other, how to take care of our neighbors, how to take care of the people in our homes, and to make sure that we stay educated and updated on how to take care of each other and one another. But the main thing is here, especially in Southern Maryland, we don't have a mental health facility. We don't have we have St. Mary's Hospital that is to house thousands of people, and we don't have a mental health facility. We have to send them to Charles County to go to a mental health facility. So I know how in dire need we are of mental health facilities.
And I want to ask a follow-up. We might touch it when we get into the education portion, and I know that education is determined by the state and not at a federal level, but would you maybe at a federal level want to implement, I guess, a program within the health classes to implement what you're talking about as far as being prepared, I guess, for a tragic event kind of situation?
Absolutely. Other countries do it. It's literally part of their DNA. In other countries, they know how to take care of each other. And I think we need to look at countries like Japan and China and how that they're raising their kids to be proactive and to always be prepared for the worst. So it's not a shock to them. And our kids are not prepared for anything. They're not even prepared to pay bills. So I think we need to start over. We need to just stop with everything that we have done and get these kids ready for real life. They live in it. One of the things that I do here in my district is I make lunch boxes. I make lunch for kids, and in our libraries we can put lunch bags and stuff like that. Is not any oversight on it. And we can drop off lunches near schools as long as we're not on school grounds and stuff, right? And I see the kid last year. I was near a high school and I saw kids fighting. Of course, I jump out because everybody business is my business, right? And so I saw kids fighting, and of course I jump out. The boy is bleeding, and all the kids are shocked that he got hit in the mouth and started bleeding, and no one knew what to do. And it just hit me. I'm like, how are you fighting and don't know how to stitch up what you did? And I was just like, when I was growing up, we used spider webs because that was how we stitched each other up. Look, we country, okay? We used spider webs because we didn't know better, but it was better. It was better than thread, and it disappeared in your skin. We were advanced and we didn't even know it. How about that? Okay, we were advanced and didn't even know it. But kids today now, and I think it's social media, they're used to fast. But absolutely, I do want to implement in some type of law that kids need to learn how to emotionally, mentally take care of themselves as far as feeding themselves. There should be no hungry children because there's food trees everywhere. And when I when I lived overseas, one thing I saw over there that we don't have here, they grow food. They don't grow like just worthless shrubbery and trees, right? They have apple trees, banana trees, pear trees, and they'll have them seasonally. So like the fall crab apples are coming out, right? And apples, summertime oranges and peaches, wintertime, like they have like winter plums and stuff, and they always have it surrounding the schools. So kids aren't hungry because they just go get their breakfast off a tree. And so I think that living in different places have taught me to implement different ideologies.
Okay. We'll get more into that when we get into the education portion. So I have one more question regarding healthcare. A lot of seniors and working families here are struggling to navigate Medicare, Medicaid, and insurance paperwork. What would you how would you make the system easier and less stressful for people who need care?
Yeah. So one of the things I make is apps. I'm in computer science. I went back to school to learn computer science. The idiocracy of the paperwork that we always have to push on people is absolutely dumbfounding, and I understand it always starts with insurance. They want to nitpick with every little thing, and everything has to be in place, and every I has to be dotted and every T crossed. We need to dumb it down. Honestly, we need to dumb it down. We need to make sure that people not only understand, but I feel like field offices need someone to physically talk to these people. They don't need to go in there and be overwhelmed by paperwork. Like someone needs to ask them 5 questions. What's your insurance? And you and the insurance company figure it out, right? You give your name, date of birth, and if you got insurance. That's literally all you need. And why are you there? You need 4 questions instead of all these other questions. Of course, tell them why you're there and other elements and stuff like that. But like asking for your firstborn's blood type and all this other unnecessary stuff, we do need to dumb down like the amount of paperwork. And insurance companies get paid to push paperwork. So on their end, they need more paperwork. On the person that is I want to say our older population too. They don't need to be overwhelmed. They've already done their part for society. They've already given and paid into society. They don't need to be like overwhelmed with all this new technology, with all the new wording and stuff like that, especially if they've not been educated on medical vocabulary. And I feel like because people always want to kind of make wording for the younger people, right? They forget that our older people are, like, hey, I remember when the aspirin was just called an aspirin. I don't know what duloxetine is, right? And so I want to simple it down. I would just, again, just change the wording, dumb it down.
All right. Thank you. If anybody has any questions in the audience about healthcare, please feel free to request up or put it in the chat. So I'm going to pass it back to Siaka.
Thank you. And I do have a question. I do represent veterans. I am a disabled veteran. My husband's still serving.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, you're welcome. I just had my question up here. Where did it go? Okay, here it is. So community-based outpatient clinics offer limited services. How would you work with federal and state partners to ensure these clinics can deliver a broader range of higher quality health services to meet the diverse needs of veterans, including specialty and preventative care?
I'm so glad you asked that question. My husband is a 30-year veteran. My dad was a Vietnam veteran. My brother is a veteran. I come from veterans. My granddad was a veteran. All my aunts, uncles. I'm the only one that didn't go in. So I know this lifestyle very well. I am dealing with it right now myself. I feel that what we need to do for our military members, our veterans who have absolutely paid the ultimate price for our country, is we need to extend the care to local services. We need to stop having them have to go to the veteran clinic. If a clinic is near their home and offer that service, the military has more than enough of the funding to pay for that service that's closer to their home. We need to have more, I know some places do have fleets for veterans to get rides. We need to up that. Like if we have a veteran in the area, we need to have a fleet for them to get rides. We need to pay them to go back and forth to doctor's office. A lot of them, when you retire, the money, you get your little chunk of money, right? But you still got a family to take care of. When you graduate, when you retire, you still you're at the place where you're taking care of your grandkids and your adult kids. And if you think that they're cheaper than little kids, you are out your mind. They're more expensive than little children. But we need to make sure that one of the things that I find, I said, more veterans would go if they're being paid to go to the doctor's office. And like, I'm not talking about a huge stipend. I mean, like 50 cents, you going back and forth to take care of yourself. And we need to look at our veterans as some of the greatest members of our society, because they have the education, they have the intelligence, they have the discipline. They just got older. They're the same people. They just got older, and we can implement a lot of that education if they want to. If they're done, they're done. But we need to do a lot more for our veterans and their families. Absolutely need to do more for our veterans and their families. And one, we need to give them more money. We need to make sure that they're taken care of. We need to, now that paperwork, I'm okay with them having a lot of paperwork, because Veteran Affairs, I ain't gonna say what I want to say, but they do a wonderful job. I want to say, with the idiocracy of what we have to deal with now and the funding that have been cut now by the idiot in office, we have to, I know when the next administration come in, they're going to re-implement this, but we're going to lose so many veterans and their family members because right now we are literally dealing with the dumbest person on earth and his idiot friends.
Absolutely. We have a question
All are paid for travel
from
expenses because I'm not paid. No one's even considered talking to me about a paycheck.
okay. We have a question
Yeah,
from Miss Nikki. How you doing, Miss Nikki? I know you have another question. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm sorry. I just had to come up
Miss
again
Nikki,
because I
don't
have a question.
apologize. You keep asking whatever you want.
No, Edwina, for real. I'm gonna email you my number.
Okay.
You know, because I think I'm in your area. I've lived in St. Mary's County. I lived in Charles County. I had a child. I had two children in St. Mary's County. I had a child in both of them went to Charles County. But what I want to ask you is, I know you're saying a lot. Like, I know your area. I know the people you're trying to get to vote for you.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, do you think it's really fair? Like, you're going hard. Like, y'all have to understand, her area is not like PG. Like, it's very diversified. Like, as a matter of fact, when I lived in St. Mary's County, I feared every day because y'all know how outspoken I am, right?
She's saying it's Trump land, and she's really right. This is Trump
Right.
hell out here.
So what I'm saying is, you're trying to get a lot of these people to vote for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's kind of, I'm listening and I'm like, oh my, you know, I don't know. Y'all, the area. I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to look out for you here, like, you know.
No, I appreciate it, but I'm gonna tell you what, Miss Nikki, I don't care. I don't care. I'm not gonna change for them at all. The problem with us is we always trying to coddle the people that wouldn't coddle to us, right? We're always trying to go high when they're in the pits of hell. And I want to let them know that hell is a vast place and I like to play there sometimes. So they can try me all they want to. I am not backing down. I'm not here to if they I will do things to implement for all people, but coddling to any specific person, especially here, if they're after all we've been through, and they're still Trump supporters, they don't want to talk to me. They don't want to talk to me. I'm not interested. The same way their side is always like, I don't care about the Democrats, I don't care about the libtards. We have got to stop trying to be the bigger person to idiots.
And I understand what you're saying, but what I am saying is, I lived in St. Mary's County, and the other people you're talking about wasn't as far as, like, you're putting a broad paintbrush on everyone. To me, that's what I'm hearing, and I'm cringing, because I will say I met a lot of good people. I had some people that was different, but I also had a lot of good people. So I'm just saying, like, you're going hard in the paint, and I know
what you're saying, Miss Nikki. I appreciate that. I know what you're saying, baby. And let me tell you something. It's the only way God made me. I can't be somebody I'm not. I know what you're saying, and I need to calm down and work across the aisle. I'm gonna tell you right now, they've never tried to work across the aisle on this side.
Hey, okay.
And I know what you're saying. I'm not talking about everybody. There's no such thing as all when you're talking about everybody, because even the Trump supporters, I have flipped Trump supporters. They know they're on a sinking ship. They know they're on a sinking ship. And all I got to do is talk about Epstein, pedophilia, and all that stuff, and they're ready to fight. But it's okay, because I was a boxer for 10 years. So one thing about me is I think of all people. Even when the ideologies that I'm trying to implement, I'm not really thinking about a specific demographic. I'm not thinking about just Democrats. I'm not thinking politically, right? Because what I'm trying to do is help people. I'm not trying to just help a person. I'm not trying to help some types of people. I'm trying to help all people. And I have no issue with working across the aisle, right? I have no issue with working across the aisle because people that like me, they like me. People that hate me, they hate me. I'm not going to change anybody's mind, right? They've already, in 2 seconds, they like you or they don't like you. But people who know that this place needs to change, I'm here to change the things. I'm not here to coddle people. I'm not here to hold anybody's hand. I'm not here like, listen to me. And I'm not doing none of that. I'm not here for that. That's your mama job. I'm not your mama. I'm here to implement laws that will help us out for the next 50 years. I'm here to implement rules and regulations that can help everybody out. I don't want to assume that I'm smarter than the next man or woman, right? I don't want to assume that I'm better than anybody. But what I want to do is I want to help all people that want to be helped. If you don't want my help, okay.
Right. I understand. I'm glad you say you're for all people. I appreciate that. I'm just
Yeah,
saying it's kind of a little rough there for a minute, but okay. Thank
that's
you.
because
Thank
I
Thank
you
you,
for
Miss
talk
Nikki.
crazy.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss Nikki.
Girl, hey look, let me tell you, I lived in Leonardtown, okay? Not Great
Mm-hmm.
Mills. I lived in Leonardtown. So if you know, you know.
Yeah, I
So
was
I'm
on
just
the
saying,
economic development. I was one of the commissioners here in Leonardtown.
right, and the people up here can tell you I am not a cobbler. So,
Mm-hmm. Oh, you don't sound like it.
and I'm not. All right, y'all can drop me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Nikki. Oh, I love y'all. I love my black people.
I want to say this. I do think that the Democrats definitely need some fight. I will say that when it comes to this administration and what's going on and politically right now. So I'm gonna pass it to Sianka.
Okay. I had to find my place where I was.
I can't wait for y'all to start asking me about Trump and Epstein. That's what I'm already hot.
Well, we can talk about one of my favorites. Public education
All right.
is one of my favorite topics. I have a daughter who's in school in Charlotte to be a pastry chef at Johnson and Wells. She's in her junior year. She wants to own her own bakery. She wants to do her own thing, and I'm so proud of her. So college and trade school are both getting more expensive. What would you do to make sure students from your district can afford higher education or job training without going to lifelong debt?
You already know how I feel about it. You already know how I feel about it.
I really don't. I want you to. I'm not in your head. I want to know.
If you want to go to school to help the economy, to better this place, you should be able to go federally funded, completely funded for free. We as a society have paid so much in taxes. No one for the next 50 years, I've done the math, for the next 50 years in America should pay for it.
Absolutely. And
Trade schools, charter schools, public schools, private. Well, I don't got no business in private schools. You do what you want to do. You want to be Ivy League and pay that price because you want to be Ivy League, you do that. But the rest of it, if it's federally funded, it should be completely federally funded. If they're getting money from the feds, then it should be free. That's how other countries run it.
Absolutely, especially in Greenland, they will pay you to go to school, and I'm like, why is that so hard here?
Baby, I'm so glad you said that, because giving people stipends. When I lived in Germany, they got a stipend to go to school too, right? You get a monthly stipend to go to school all the way up to your doctorate. You can get 17 doctorates, right? And you will get a stipend to go to school. We have the money to do that. We have the money. I mean, they're showing you every year, every presidency, we're always giving trillions of dollars away to some other country, right? To not, yeah, we have the money to do it. We have the money to give people stipends. We have the money for everyone to have a free education. And if people keep talking about how can we afford it, ask yourself, how can we afford it? You have Chat GPT like everybody else. We can afford it. We can afford to pay people to go to school. We can afford for people to go to school and get 100 doctorates. We can afford for it to happen. These companies are siphoning America for no reason at all, other than, this isn't my life, but we are paying another country. I'll say that. We are paying another country for everybody in that country to go to school for free. We're paying everybody in that country to live off of the government for free. They get a monthly stipend. I ain't going to tell y'all $1,500 a month is the stipend that most of them get per person in their family. But yeah, we can afford it. We've been affording it. We just haven't been the ones getting it, but we've been affording it.
I hear you, and I totally agree that there's funding that's been hidden from, well, I wouldn't say hidden, but it's been given to certain people who they think deserve it more than others, and that's not fair. Because I'm originally from New York, from Long Island and Hempstead, so I've seen the difference on the west side of the island versus the east side of the island, where the Hamptons are, Syosset, all those places. So we knew what the deal was. You didn't have to guess around that. But thank you for answering that question. So you've emphasized child nutrition and school support. How would you expand free meals, tutoring, and after school programs so kids can actually have focus on learning instead of hunger or falling behind?
So I feel that what was his name? What was that one what was his name? The one Kanye cussed out. That president. It's gonna get me. But he don't like people.
Bush.
Bush, yes.
Bush. Okay.
So he did what I think it would be the most egregious thing that you could do. No Child Left Behind, right? And I want to say that's an egregious program because he didn't implement anything with it, right? There was no after school programs. There was no preschool programs. People were still paying. So in what we call education deserts, we need to make sure that they have after school programs that include reading. We need to bring phonics back to education, because here you learn how to read because you can hear the words. You can sound them out, right? They don't do that anymore. So we need to bring phonics back, and we need to make sure that there are pre and after school programs and in school programs. Instead of sending kids to ISS, the kids that go to ISS are always the kids that are falling behind. Mm-hmm. And that's because they got to deal with whatever they got to deal with at home, right? They got a whole lot going on at home. And instead of focusing on, like, maybe these kids got a lot going on at home. So what I want to do is make sure that they don't feel even more left behind. Because when you feel even more left behind, what do kids do? They lash out, right? Mm-hmm. So we need programs in the school we need to dismantle ISS in the school. We need to implement more educational programs in the school. We have a lot of outside educational programs everywhere that nobody knows about until they need some money, right? So I just found out about 7 programs that we have here in Leonardtown. Never heard of them until it was time for contracts to go out. And I was like, wait, I've been here and never heard of these programs. Great question. What would you do in place of ISS? So in place of one thing that they don't do here in America is they don't learn kids the way kids learn. A lot of kids are on 501Cs or IEPs, but they never learn. Is this how do these kids learn? Is this a listening learner? Is this a kinesthetic learner? Is this a seeing learner? How do these kids learn? No one has ever took the time to learn children, but we are going to take the time to punish children, because the preschool to prison pipeline, I didn't just make it up right now, right? So we want these kids to go to prison because they do slave labor for free, right? So what I would put in place is we are going to have to learn how these kids learn. We know that they learn like this, right? So sending them to prison, is that going to help? No. But what we need to do in place of ISS is we need to learn how kids learn. Are they kinesthetic? Are they ADHD? Are they autistic? Are they on any type of spectrum? What is going on at their home? We have all these social workers everywhere else except in the schools where they need to be. So we need social workers in the schools. We need them to display, and we also have a lot of educators, childhood education people. They need to be in the school system learning this also. And they need to start implementing programs of how do kids learn. It seems like it stops when they're in preschool, right? We have a whole preschool program. We have I think it's called orthopedic, when they're teaching kids speech and pathology and stuff like that. But they don't do any type of education on kids that are going through troubles, right? They don't do any type of thing other than throwing them into an alternative school. That's an abomination. Speech therapy. Thank you, baby. That's an abomination, throwing kids away. That's an abomination because they already feel displaced somewhere. So, I don't know. I'm going to come up with something. I like when y'all ask me questions and get me rolling. Now I got to come up with something.
Well, thank you so much for answering those questions. Let's see. Does anybody have any other questions in the chat? If you want to come up and ask Miss Elldwnia questions, she didn't bite us yet. We're still here, still alive. She's a spitfire, but it's all right. She's a spitfire for the people.
I am.
Yes, and we need more of that.
I have a question. You talked about the education and kind of replacing ISS with learning about children. So how would you get more teachers, social workers, paraprofessionals in the schools? Because I know that's a big need for a lot of people right now, that the classroom sizes are smaller and we don't have enough people in the classroom to deal with that amount of kids. So do you have plans for that?
Maybe like a behavior support plan. We need to have parents check in and check out. One thing that I did want to implement is, so it's basically an idea. I think parents should be able to have smartwatches, and their kids should have a smartwatch for each class, right? So and it should be parents with kids who are alternative kids. That's what I want to call them. I don't like the word bad kids, but parents with kids who are displaying issues, they need reset rooms. I don't want them to be in ISS. They need reset rooms. and maybe like peer mediation, like their peers can come in. I believe in a community coming together to help each other, right? I believe in professionals coming in, like, hey, maybe it needs to be more eyes on these children instead of just throwing these babies away. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Wonderful, darling. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Good to see you, and congratulations and
Thank
all
you.
the well wishes. We need them out here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hard in these streets right now. I do have a question. I'm coming in late, and I really wanted to piggyback, but I was out trying to go get some stuff before the storm happened. I too am running for Congress in my district, Ohio 11. I'm running up against a well-beloved incumbent. And,
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. And something, and I don't know if you guys covered this, but this was my question. Something that has come up right now is like, ICE reform and defunding. They did the DHS vote yesterday, and I came online and I suggested, because the DHS vote was not like a defund ICE vote like some people were making it seem, right? It would have caused a government shutdown. We had to do what we had to do. However, I suggested that it be a standalone bill, so that people could actually vote on it and we could see where people really stand. I think sometimes in this climate, there is some ambiguity in the words that we use, and it can mislead some of the constituents sometimes. And so I put that idea forth. Now it's going to take a long time for it to gain some traction. But how do you feel about like policy, bringing policy, putting things like that in the forefront, and really just, I think what I'm saying, especially for us coming in, people are tired. They're worn down. They want something different. How do you feel about, rallying for these standalone bills and these direct measures, and less of the talk, but like more of the things, making people stand on business, I guess, for the constituents?
I absolutely am 100% with you. I do believe that we need to have town halls, but with those town halls, we need to let people know that we're going to implement community service. We're not just talking about it. We're having town halls. We'll teach you about it. I think letting too many voices in, we need to implement it. We need to make sure that we have swatted it, to make sure that there's only so much that we can do, right? When new things happen, you can swat it as much as you can, but we need to make sure that when new things are implemented, right, we need to make sure that we teach people what we are talking about. We don't need a lot of voices on it because it'll drown out what we're trying to do. But we need to teach people like, hey, we're going to have a town hall where we're going to educate you on what ideas that we have. And I do think that what we should do is have like a round table and just talk about it amongst ourselves, and like have lawyers, have teachers, have doctors, have I think they're called I don't know, pathologists and behavioral specialists. They need to have the loudest voice in the room, right? Mm-hmm. To make sure that we're talking to the right people to implement the right services, because it will have to take an entire community coming together to make sure that we are not throwing these babies in the trash anymore. We've done that for decades and it hasn't worked.
Absolutely. On that note, I am actually an educator at present. Thank you. It's also a struggle in those streets too right now. Okay. That is rough right now. With that, I feel like, and how do you feel getting more educators into the conversation? I know education is my top priority. That's what I know. So that's what I'm running on. And for me, when we're talking about public education in Ohio right now, we have like we have our like little ed choice thing going on with the vouchers and things like that. But how do you feel about getting more people involved, especially when it comes to curriculum? The curriculum for the kids is horrible. Like, it is such a crazy situation. Teachers are not I am spending more of my time trying to manage behaviors. We have a mix of students in our classes. So we have students at all different levels. I have my special education students in my class. I have my third graders for an hour and 15 minutes, which is already too much, but it is so hard to get through a lesson. And it's like right now they're trying to defund the Department of Education. And I'm like, maybe reel it in and do something different because we need it and we need help. The curriculum that we've chosen isn't working. Like, oh, it's just horrible. It's horrible.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not a professional. I'm just gonna spitball, right? That's not my field. I'm an economics person. But my ideas is that how do I say this? You lead the conversation and we listen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel like teachers know what they're talking about. Educators know what they're talking about. They should be the ones writing the curriculum in the first place. If you're overcrowded, why aren't there interns or student teachers coming in getting hands-on work? Why don't y'all have 2 or 3 TAs? I've never understood that in the first place. Why do they need to be in a classroom instead of in a classroom? I mean, I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of ideas, but it shouldn't be my voice. I should be in the back writing notes. If you lead the conversation, I'll listen. I know when to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
I can. I promise you I can.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much and good luck.
Thank you, and
Good
you
luck.
too.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming up and answering your questions.
Oh man, I lost my train of thought. Oh, we have a question in the chat from Mr. Nookie Nuggets. How would you work with teachers union and class instructors to bring this vision to life?
Again, I always say I don't know what I don't know, right? So I also will leave that up to the teachers. I would make sure that the teacher's voice is the first one heard. There should never be someone that's not in the field making conversations about things in the field. I would have a round table with teachers, top teachers, principals, professors, behavioral specialists, whoever, union specialists, whoever. But I feel like they should tell me what bills I need to write and I'll write them. They should tell me how to implement things. I'll implement them. I'm here for the people. It's nothing to do with me. I'm here for the people. I'm the oldest girl in a Black family. It's never been about me. I have always done things for other people, and that's what I plan on continuing.
I hear you, absolutely. I'm going to turn it back over. If anybody don't have any other questions, I'm going to turn it back over to Blessings on public safety and immigration. All right, Blessings.
All right. So let's see. Families here want safe neighborhoods, but also don't want over policing. How would you support community-based safety solutions that actually prevent crime instead of just reacting to it?
So we need to nip crime in the butt, right? As soon as we start seeing crime, and that's usually when drugs are coming into neighborhoods.
Oh, you have to say smugs, like TikTok friendly, because you have to talk like you're talking to like a kid.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, we need to make sure that if candy comes in the neighborhood and nobody has a license to sell that candy, that we make sure we get that candy out the neighborhood. We need to make sure that we are not being over policed in our neighborhoods, that we're paying taxes on, right? And I don't care if you are on housing, HUD, whatever, you don't need to be over policed like you are in the fields anywhere in America, because you're paying a lot of taxes regardless of where you live at. But I feel like one thing now that I have been talking to a lot more police officers, they're stretched thin and they are always kind of being forced to do a lot of things they don't want to do. They're forced to be in neighborhoods and over policing a lot, right? So communities have to come together. Communities have to say, like, hey, we need a community police task force working together. At a certain, if you want to come in our neighborhoods, right? And I have never talked to a police officer who opposed this. They have said that, thank you, baby. They have said that if we can get more people in more communities to talk with us, to work with us, we are more than happy to do that, because it makes our job less. But the one thing that we have to make sure, like if we're getting civilians, to do a lot of this stuff, that they need to be trained so we don't have another Trayvon Martin, right? Or any other baby, not with us anymore. So we need to make sure that we're implementing the right things. And again, not a police officer. I don't patrol anywhere except my house. But I do feel as a citizen, what we need to do is we need to work more with them. They're not the enemy because we pay them, right? They're not the enemy because of past. We need to move forward and reorganize our ideologies of each other, how the police feel about us in our neighborhoods and how we feel about the police department, right? If you don't like your police department, you don't like your sheriff, guess what you can do? Vote them out. You can also put your kids in that place so you do feel safe. You can also look, we are getting people from other neighborhoods patrolling our area, and that should never be it. If they don't live in your neighborhood, why are they patrolling your neighborhood, right? Start getting your kids on those police forces in the sheriff offices and stuff like that. That's the first way to implement change. The second way, start voting for yourself. Start voting for your county and make sure that I'm very big on internships. The police department needs more people seeing what they do on a day-to-day basis. I kind of did half a little bit of a police thing. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I respect them now. I respect them now. But they deal with a lot. They deal with a lot of stuff that that's not talked about. And but what we need to do as citizens is we need to work more with the police department, because I want to say about 70% of them are great people that really they really have a hero complex, which is not a bad thing, but they really want to help their communities out. They really want to help people on a day-to-day basis. So again, start getting your kids in those jobs. You do those jobs. They always have volunteers. They're looking for volunteers. They're always looking for internships and stuff. They're always trying to recruit people. So, second, third job, they don't really have an age requirements for some of this stuff,
Yes, thank you for that. I'm going to pass it back to Sianka because we are getting close to the time. So I want to pass it back to Sianka for the next topic. And then if we have some more time, then we'll circle back again to public safety. But I want to pass it so we can get as many questions as possible in the different categories.
Thanks, blessings. We want to talk about environment and infrastructure. I know this is a big, huge thing going on in your district. So a lot of people are worried about clean water, air quality, and new development. How would you balance growth with protecting your environment and quality of life?
So we're an arbor state. We have a lot of trees here. We love our trees. We love clean air here. We hate pollution, right? Like most people, but we cannot control other people. We cannot control what people do. So I would love to implement something to reward people for helping keep the city and state beautiful, to help keep our places clean, to help keep our water systems from being polluted. And one of the biggest bills, and it's already in place, but I do want to tax pharmacies and anyone that is trying to pollute our water. And I don't play about my drinking water. I don't play about that drinking water. I don't play about the water these kids play in. I don't play about that water. And one thing is the EPA needs more money. Our EPA needs a lot more money. Just like teachers, they need more money. Our EPA needs a lot more money. They need a lot more people going into these positions. We have a lot of people that need jobs, and we have a lot of jobs that need to be filled. I cannot stress that enough. From all the people that I've talked to, somehow I need to get these people together, because you don't have to know everything about every single job, but you need to get into these positions because, let me back up. I want to reward good behavior, right? I want to not criminalize, but I want to make sure that people understand how strongly I am against pollution, filth, destroying our waterways, destroying our trees. Maryland is a beautiful, beautiful state. I'm biased, right? DC and Maryland. But, we need to really get on the beauty that if you go into anybody's house here, it looks like it's like you walk into a magazine, walking into some of these people's house. But if you look at their front yards or look at their neighborhoods, you're like, you live how if 1 and 1 equals 7,
mathing. Yeah.
And so we need to, how we live inside our homes, we need to make sure that we are flowing that beauty out to the environment.
Absolutely. And I want to add this question there. How can people like you who are running can prevent funding from being used prevent funding from being carved out and used for something else? What can y'all do to put a stop to that? Be like, hey, I see what you're doing. What you're doing is wrong. Not a slap on the wrist, but call them out on it, because you see that's what's happening now. There's funding being carved out of things and being placed over there. So what can people like you who are running, people who are trying to do the right thing, what can y'all do to put a stop to it, put them on blast? What would be your mechanism to stop that?
Audits. I love auditing. And the people need to know where every penny goes. So I wanted to create an app, right? If there is a budget, if there is a bill, how much is the funding? Are there grants? Where's the money coming in? Who is getting every penny? Just like, if you have a HOA, everybody wants to know where every penny goes, right? We live in a state where nobody knows where any money has gone. It's just vanished. Nobody takes accountability for anything. So I build apps. That's my baby. I love to build apps. One of the biggest things that I want to do is work with the auditing companies here. And I love for an audit to have an audit. I and a lawyer on top of that. So I feel like that's my biggest thing. That is my biggest pet peeve. Where is the money going? I didn't get, like a beep like, hey, we got $17 billion or $17 million to go to therapy, but it just vanished overnight. I'm going to tell you something. I don't care if that criminal is in office or not. The first, he's getting an article. The second I walk over that thing, he's getting an article. But the people that are in office right now that are cowering, that are not talking about where the money is going, that are not implementing change, that are not saying, hey, so I want to make sure that everybody knows if I am the purse, right? I'm the person that makes sure that every penny is in place. I'm the person that makes sure that I am the audit. I am the audit, right? So I want every citizen to know, like, hey, we got $17 million. $16,999 went to healthcare. 1% went to taxes, right? It needs to be broken down every time we get money in and we send money out. We need to make sure that every citizen know, like, look, it's on the books, and everybody can go on a website and see where every penny has been spent, where every penny is regulated to be spent. Future monies, now money, past money. If healthcare needs money, where are we getting this money from? If educators need money, where are we getting this money from? How are we spending this money? Right now, who knows?
Absolutely. And there's like my fur of my chinchillas and rabbits flying in my face. I'm like doing this, so I'm not, people won't think I'm crazy. But yes, I am a fan of putting them on blast.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, put it on the news, put it on TikTok, because everybody on TikTok, put it on Facebook, you know, put them on blast, because that is what is happening. Thank you so much for answering that question and the other question too. I'm gonna throw the ball right back to Ms. Blessings on local issues and constituent focus.
All right. Make this bigger so I can see. Okay. So, as we've talked about, your district is very large and diverse, and many residents feel disconnected from Washington. How would you stay visible, accessible, and responsive to your constituents in your entire district?
I would love an open door policy. I would love for my weekends to be out in the field talking to people. I would love, what I wanted to implement was a cookout. Like maybe every third Saturday, I'm gonna have a cookout at a certain park in my district. Come up and talk to me. Let's get something fixed. Tell me what the problem is. Let's talk about it, and blah, 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 blah. Let's talk about it. Let's find the funding. Where is the funding going to come from? Because I don't think people understand. You're telling me a problem, give me the solution to, right? Every problem has a funding issue. Let's get that funding together. Where is the funding going to come from? You know, what's the economics behind this issue? And I do want to make sure, like right now, nobody can get to our representative, anybody in office, unless you have like a 6-month notice or anything. I don't know. I haven't been able to, but I do want a more open door policy. I want to be able to go out and talk to my constituents. I want to be able to go out and go to the schools. I want my air to be like, just to have a whole bunch of kids see what I do every single day, because they're going to be the ones taking over for me, right? I want to make sure that people understand that these positions, and I want young people to realize you can do this. And it doesn't take, you don't have to have my background. You don't have to have my degrees. You don't have to have my certifications. You can do this position, and I want to teach you how. And I think a large disconnect is people are not able to touch, feel, talk to their to their representatives, their senators. Like they're on some totem pole that's so far away from them, and they make sure that no one can touch them. I don't like that at all. I want to be able to touch you. I want to go to a cookout. I want to teach you how to line dance. You know, I want to pop some fans. Huh? I want to do all them things.
I appreciate that answer. I'm going to ask one more question, and then we're going to get to our closing. So all the things we've talked about, economic, infrastructure, the healthcare, the safety, we all know those are concerns of people in your district. So how will you turn the local issues into concrete legislation?
We have so many. We have so many. And what I would love to do is get a representative from each district. And we have a monthly sit down, talk about what is going on. I want to make sure that our citizens, and also I want it on their Facebook pages. I want it on their social media. Like, hey, we're doing a sit down and it's live, right? You can see what we're talking about every time we talk about a local issue. Bring me the issue. Bring me the solution. Let's find out where we can get the funding from, right? Let's find out the economics behind it. And when we're talking, we're not just spitballing. We got lawyers in the room. We got economists in the room. We got funders in the room. We got the police in the room. We got medical in the room. So no conversation is going to be had without the citizens, right? Because that's something that we are detrimentally missing right now. I can't get to everybody. There's almost 1 million people in my district. I cannot get to every citizen, but if I can get a representative, and one thing I would love to do, I would love for everybody to vote for their representative, their local representative that can come to our town hall, and we have it like everybody go out and vote for your local representative to come and sit down, and we talk about what the issues are and how we can fix it together. And it is live, and we can talk about it, and we can implement real bills, real solutions.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to turn it over to Sianka for our closing question as we near the end.
All righty. Yep, 6:30. Done called our name, and we have another one after this. So wish you could spend more time, but
Ooh, I love this.
by the time it's like, nope.
Right? For nobody.
So, if families there were 2 years from now, whether sending you to Congress, let me do this better. If families were here 2 years from now, and they sent you to Congress already, and you made a real difference for this district, what's the one thing you most want you want them to remember? What's one thing that you want them to remember? 2 years from now, we in a time machine. So 2 years from now, we have Elldwnia English, woo, in Congress. Okay, 2 years from now, what's one thing that's going to stand out and say, you know what, she went and did her thing. She did this. What is this would be?
She changed. You know, if it's the taxes, if it's medical, if it's school, she went in there and did everything she said she was going to do. She went in there and she did everything she said she was going to do. She may have made some enemies, but she did everything she said she was going to do.
Fair enough. Let's see here. So many families in your district feel like they're working harder every year. I mean, I think it's like for everybody in general, but they still like they behind the 8 ball. So if you were speaking to one of those families, like you're speaking to us right now tonight, what would you tell us in regards of why you're fighting for them so hard the way you are? And what would you promise to never give up on in your community? And this is like in general, this is like the whole world right here, because everybody is going through this right now. Right. So what is your, I don't want to say advice, but what would be your speaking point to motivate us and let us know that, you know, to hold on longer? What would you tell us?
My biggest thing here, people are not thinking that they're failing. They are failing behind. Taxes, APR has gone up. Taxes have gone up. And nobody is lowering anything. Your bills are high. Food is high. Gas came down a little bit, but nothing else. Your bills are going higher every year. It's only supposed to go up 3% a year, but ours have skyrocketed with no oversight. I want you to know every single day, they're going to have to shoot my bills down every single day, because if I have to go into their 762 days, I am going to implement that our taxes are lower, our bills are lower, our APR is at 10%. And I want you to know that every bill that I implement, you will see on an app, and everybody in our district will have that app. And I will make sure that it is sent out to everybody. It'll be on news crews. It'll be everywhere that there's a human and there's a voice. I want you to know that I'm fighting for you every single day. I'm not sitting around hoping and wishing. I'm pushing. I'm making sure the worst thing for us, we have such high taxes that are crushing us every single day. Our bills are so high that it is worthless to go to work. Our going to school is a joke now. You know, why go to work when the light bill is going to be so high? And another thing I want to say before we go, Marylanders, We don't have to depend on the electric companies that we have currently. We can build our own electric company. We can build our own solar farms. We don't have to depend on SMECO. We don't have to depend on PwC. We don't have to depend on these people. We, the people, can change all of this today. And that's what I want you to know going forward. We, the people, are going to change everything.
Well, you heard it from her. You heard it from Miss Elldwnia English. She meant what she said. Thank you so much for answering all my questions. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. I'm going to hand it off to Miss Blessings. Go ahead.
Thank you. This has been a great town hall. I wish we could keep going because I'm kind of interested in that last part you said about the electric companies, but next time. So I want to thank you for joining us today. I want to thank the audience for being here and participating, and we hope to obviously see you again. So we do want to invite you and our audience to our next town hall, which we will have tonight with Erin Eloso. She is running in Iowa State House District 47, which will be tonight at 7 p.m. And then I also want to invite you to what we do, Candidates Roundtable, every other Sunday. Our next one is February 1st. So essentially, it's a panel full of candidates where you guys can talk to each other, discuss ideas back and forth, and do basically a bigger town hall, kind of how you were describing earlier.
Okay.
So I want to thank you again for coming. I want to thank Sianka for being my moderator with me tonight. I want to thank our vote counts for hosting us tonight. And before we go, I want to remind you again who we are. Oh, no, wait. Yes, we do have another one tonight. But I want to ask you to plug all your information, your websites, your social, how people can get in contact with you and support your campaign.
Okay, I sure will. Thank you all so much. I appreciate this, and I am so excited for the future. We're gonna win.
Yeah. Are you typing it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to say her website is on the back of the screen. Obviously, you can follow her here on TikTok. She's going to put some more stuff in the chat. Oh, she put her website in the chat. There you go. Do you have any other social medias?
Yes, I'm on everything. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Discord. I am on Instagram, but I'm revamping everything. Okay. I'm revamping a lot of stuff. So February 14th, my relaunch goes out. So it's empty right now, but I got something big coming up. Oh, and I put the wrong thing. It's Elldwnia for Congress, not Elldwnia Core Congress.
Okay, so I want to thank everybody again for coming and remind you one more time who we are. This is OVC, Our Vote Counts, a nonpartisan movement uniting Americans from all walks of life to empower voters, support candidates of integrity, and ensure every voice is heard. Through education, outreach, accountability, and action, we're building a stronger democracy, one informed vote at a time. Join us. Your vote is your power. Thank you. Good night. See you at 7.
Bye.
Night.